the slow. Grip held tight, the storm starts to grow. We sharpen the truth, ready to explode. Can't call out RINOs if you're a RINO. Speak with a mic that bleeds, not a path to tone. Oh, cash just saints blink while the crowd loses sane. Oh, I spit raw pages, every line a broken homo. Can't be bought, can't be sold. Gave my soul to truth, not gold. We raise the flags while the fake keeps cold.
What the hell is up, guys? Like, listen, I've been waiting for this one, Maurice. I've been waiting,
excited for
bro.
this one too.
This has been, it feels like it's already been like a month since all of this has happened that we're going to highlight tonight. And so many people have taken what we see in the CPAC and what we put online, and a lot of people that put their own spin on it, right? They're like, oh, yeah, that's right. You turned on MAGA. Yeah, you did this. And yeah, way to hate Israel and way to do this and way to do that. And not really understanding exactly what I did or why I did it, because the video that I put out that explained it was the second one and it didn't go as viral as the very first one. But there is a little bit of truth in all of that. It's just not exactly all the way true.
Well,
but,
that's the problem is that these little clips or snippets that we put out, you can't get the whole picture. But everybody these days, they really enjoy trying to kind of consolidate all of your thoughts and opinions into this certain box.
Yeah.
And so if you're not and this was a big movement right before CPAC, right before we had gone down to Texas. There was a large influencer campaign against Joe Kent, and it was like if you support this guy, then you're not MAGA, and you basically need to be kicked out of the movement entirely. And it's like there's so much more depth to what MAGA is supposed to be.
It's not what it was. It's not what it started out to be. If this is what MAGA is, I don't want no part of it. I'll just be honest. I'll say that straight up. This is not what I signed up for. It's not what I signed up for. It was an America First movement that was aimed in putting the power back into the hands of the people. And I feel like Trump, on one hand, he does keep some of his promises and he's pushing those things. But the bigger ones, the ones that we're waiting for, and we've been waiting for, those haven't happened yet, right? Who's been arrested? Ilhan Omar still in office. Tim Walz still in office. Rashida Tlaib, just connected to Hamas, still in office. But yet all of his members that are around him in his cabinet slowly but surely keep getting fired to take the blame for the things that have not been happening, not done. I felt like the Insurrection Act should have happened in Minnesota. They were doxing ICE agents. The elected officials were complicit in the fraud and calling for their constituents to take to the streets and do all this. And Brandon Johnson over is it Johnson in Chicago?
Yeah.
I mean, come on, dude. They're so far beyond what anything that happened on January the 6th, and you want to call that an insurrection, but telling your people that live in your city to fight against the federal government isn't. Well, we're given the impression that that's what we're doing, but we're not actually doing it.
Yeah. And it's constant. And without, so it seems like everybody wants to kind of consolidate the movement into basically, Trump can do no wrong. And
bullshit.
That is the complete opposite of what I believe. And I know what you believe because, we've been back and forth on various issues for the past couple of years. Eddie and I have been. I mean, we've had long discussions about various topics, whether it be just this last weekend at CPAC, you still think heavily about fixing the problem in Iran, right? And I think that we should bounce from it. But it's
we
very
don't always
nuanced.
agree on everything. I love this guy, but we don't always agree on it. And here's the thing. 47 years ago, the United States caused this problem. We caused it. And now the IRGC is in power because of what we did. The problem is we let it go too long. And we should have went to war last year, and it would have probably been a lot less, I don't know, but that's the deal about all this stuff, guys. It's like there is no easy solution to this. But the one thing we couldn't allow to happen was the 60% enriched uranium to get to 90%. And they already have hypersonic missiles. And I keep saying that word. And people need to understand Iran. Do not think for a second that Iran doesn't have the capability to shoot the missiles that they have a lot further than they are.
All right. But how do you know that a lot of that's just not propaganda from intelligence agencies?
We don't.
Exactly. And that's the problem, is that we've gotten to a point now where we don't know what to trust anymore. We don't know who to believe. And it's what's really difficult is when bigger voices become compromised and they start just towing the line just because they get various deals or sponsorships or whatever it is. There's a ton of people that I've grown up on this app with, I'll say, that I like, we don't communicate anymore. There was a certain mission, like there was a group of people that we all followed each other and we all interacted because we had a similar mission.
Yeah.
Well, that's since faded because all of them got bigger than me. But like their mission changed, right? It became about how to monetize the most, how to monetize the app the most, how to get the most money out of it while still like being, pro America and this and that. And it's like, all right, well, if that's your mission, then whatever, that's fine. I'm not gonna say that you shouldn't, wag my finger at it because I don't really care. To each his own. But I have a mission, and I know Eddie does too. And this is why that we've been able to stay together for so long. Whether however many influencers we've had come and go with us. I mean, that doesn't really matter. But I know that Eddie has the same mission, and that's to help change this country. And that's regardless of whatever deals we get. Throughout the way. I just started going back to work again in. I'm like changing truck tires. I broke my hand a couple months ago, if you guys didn't know. And I just, this last Wednesday, started going back to work. And it's because I would rather make an honest living than to censor my voice and my opinions to speak for a corporation or a sponsorship of any kind. Like if they want to hand me a microphone and pay for me to be there, I want to say what I want to say. It doesn't mean that I'm always right, but I at least want to be able to have the freedom to do it. And when I disagree, like with CPAC, with almost everything that they did there, it was a complete 180 from what it was last year. And not only that, this is going to be the juicy topic of tonight, you guys, because we had an experience at CPAC, to say the least. I mean, we went down to
brainwashing.
Texas. It was insane. It was absolutely crazy. And it felt like it felt like a propaganda rally is what it felt like to me. And I hated it.
There was no feeling about it. There was no feeling about, listen, I can tell you that when I walked around that place, and just to draw the contrast between the way it was last year and this year, it was night and day. Last year it was a very pro-America movement. This year, it felt like they were trying to get everyone to say, in order to be MAGA, in order to be America first, in order to be whatever, you have to be this. You have to be pro-Iran. You have to be pro-Israel. You have to be this. You have to say that. You have to like this. And like, they're feeding you this shit, and they're like, hey, you've got to say it tastes great. And if you don't say it tastes great, we'll throw. And here's the thing, I found out that they threw out a couple of influencers while we were there for voicing these types of concerns. Yeah. I didn't know that. I didn't know that when I was there, but I was very busy doing what I was doing. But I felt like you could feel the evil. They had this worship session, right? First of all, they put her damn podcast booth right next to the sound stage.
Yeah, this is actually a really important thing to go over, Eddie.
Yeah, go ahead.
And I would like to lay this out properly, because last year we have a booth on Media Row, okay? And and last year we were right outside the main speaking hall, and it was where the speakers would go. They would literally go through Media Row. We were segregated from the general admission.
You can't say segregated. Go ahead.
We were segregated from general admission. I don't know what else to say. But there was a separation between the vendors and Media Row, because there's obviously, if you're recording a podcast, if you're recording a radio show, you need to have some semblance of quietness around you. Now they can't, put you in a booth that gets all the sound out, but with the technology that we have, we can moderate, we can get most of that sound out.
Yeah, not when an amplifier is 30 feet from you.
This year, what happened was, and this is my opinion, okay? The vendors that were there were probably maybe a third of what there was last year. It seemed like there were almost no vendors. And so they really needed to fill up space, is what it seemed like, in the vendor area. And so what they did is they mixed Media Row.
Hold on a second, Maurice. How did you know, Troll? Is Troll watching me?
I got vitamin R, so.
No, go ahead. I'm sorry.
I miss this stuff in Texas, man. They had, I don't know what kind of beer they had down there, but it was just like the basic generic crap.
It was a dry county. We were in a dry county. I was looking for bourbon while I was there, and all they had was these weird beer.
Yeah, I don't drink beer. I avoid the fire water at home because you get a little whiskey in me, and we'll just not go down that road.
Yeah.
But the vendor area, it seemed like they needed to fill up space. And so they just mixed Media Row into the vendor area. But the problem with that is they put us right behind a stage. There were speakers between 10 and 20 feet away from our stand. And there was no way to drown out the sound. So, the podcast, the radio show next to us literally packed his stuff up and left. And we had almost the entire row cancel. And they're like, you can just stream here all day. And we were like, that's cool. But also, like, every day, everybody canceled. Like, what do you... Okay. But there was no way to get a high quality podcast there at all. Because all you hear was the sound in the background. And the voices would be drowned out the entire time. It was ridiculous. So there was no way for us to actually have a podcast there. And secondly, since we were on a different level from the main speaking area, so we had zero access to any of the speakers.
Which was a broken promise. I just want to put that out there. That was a broken promise by CPAC. They told us there were certain people we wanted to interview. They gave us the list ahead of time. I gave them back, hey, we want to talk to XYZ right here. And they said when they get off the stage, they're going to walk them down to us. That never happened even once. But you'll see that means less than the entire story. We're just building up. But that wasn't the reason for the angst and the anger in the post and the things that we said. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Maurice.
No, but it was part of it. It all added up. And that's the problem. It's like, it felt like we were just put there to save space. And then they also didn't want to, they didn't want us to say anything. Obviously they didn't want us to say anything negative about it, but it feels like just because they have a booth there for us, if we're supposed to be doing honest journalism, then we're supposed to report what we see. And I'll tell you what, I didn't see a pro-America message like there was last year. They did bring in Greg Bovino. Greg Bovino was there, and so he had a tremendous speech. I will say that. Brandon Herrera was there, and then there was one other guy who was there.
DJ.
No, it was Nick Shirley.
Yeah, Nick Shirley was the day before.
Yeah, so three good speakers that were able to. In my eyes, they were the only ones there that are actually pro-American, that are actually trying to do something. But for the most part, what I heard the entire event was the very, very basic. We're gonna win the midterms. We got to do all this. It was like they didn't address any of our actual problems. Like, if this wasn't a uniparty RINO establishment, just absolute hellhole, then they would be able to say, the administration right now has failed to live up to the standards that we were clamoring for last year, because last year everybody was excited. They were like, okay, no more wars. We're going to start dismantling government agencies. Doge is going to help clean up the spending. But then all of a sudden, 16 or 15 months later, however long it's been since the last CPAC, none of that's happened. None of the Doge cuts haven't been codified. We jumped into the war into Iran, which is just, in my mind, it's ridiculous on how we started and why we started it. And honestly, I believe Joe Kent in this area, where he says that Israel pushed us into this war, because it seems like Trump so far has been what's his name, Eddie? Did you remember his name? I was talking to you about it on the phone earlier. That he's like the king of Rohan in Lord of the Rings. You ever seen that?
I watched him. God, I don't remember that.
Oh man, King of Rohan. And so he's sitting there, he's all old,
Kent,
and then
warrior?
Worm Tongue is speaking into his ear. And so Trump may have the best of intentions, but what's going on and what he's being advised for is not what he was saying what was going to happen, especially after he got shot. And he was like, I'm going to burn this thing to the ground. No, we don't have that energy anymore. That energy is completely gone.
No, what happened to drain the swamp? That's exactly what we're talking about, because this is what happened. It was like day 2 before it really got super stupid. Day 1, it was like unimpressive, but it was day 1. Hey, maybe day 2, that's when it kicks in, right? You know, it takes a day, right? I don't know. I figured they filled up Maryland, a deep blue state. You know, they filled it up, CPAC. Maybe day 2, we're in Texas. It's going to kick off, and they're going to have this pro-America thing that goes on. And I'll get to the conversation that I had with Matt Gaetz there very briefly about, I almost feel like Nostradamus in this particular instance, because we talked about what happened before it happened while he was on the set of OAN. But I'm sitting there, and I'm in the middle of the podcast, and I'll be honest, I don't remember if I just turned the podcast off or I handed it off to somebody, but I couldn't sit still, because this is what I heard.
Paxton will drive us forward. A victory in Virginia will drive us forward. A victory in Georgia will drive us forward to ultimate victory. Don't listen. I don't want to hear talk about the midterm. I don't want to hear talk about 2028. There are decades in which nothing happens, and there are weeks in which decades happen. We're in those.
There are weeks that within decades happen. Like this guy is a joke, right? First of all, let's go down the list of the reason I let the podcast go. I went over in front of that stage. There was about 25, 30 people there. I was pissed. And anyone who saw me go live and walk around that audience knows I was angry. I was more than angry, because here's this guy who worked with Rudy Giuliani, Jeffrey Epstein, tried to replace Mike Pence with Mike Pompeo and enact the 25th Amendment on Trump. And he was the guy that worked with Epstein following his first arrest in 2009 to try to help repair his image. He worked with Epstein. And so you got this guy. Nobody's
acknowledging that at CPAC. That's the thing.
Nobody. They're there brain dead as hell, clapping like it's a good thing. And I asked a couple of them, I mean, how can you clap for this guy? He worked with Epstein. Oh, that's not true, because the timeline of when he went to prison in 2009, and I just stopped listening. I don't remember the whole spiel, but they all, it was like 4 of them I asked, and they all said the same thing. Like they met before they got there and said, when people say this, this is how you answer. Because they said this, all 4 people said the same exact thing. And I guarantee you, he brought the audience with him. He brought those 25, 30 people came with this guy. Right. And he travels around with a damn mini me. I don't know if people know that, but Steve Bannon travels around with a guy who dresses like him, looks like him, and he's about 4 or 5 inches shorter than he is. But you would, from the back, you'd think it's Bannon. It's very weird. But this is a guy they put on stage. And I'm like, as soon as that happened, I'm like, it's over. It's done. I mean, you just drove a knife through a stake through the heart of the entire conference, because now nothing that happens from this point forward means shit. You just platformed an Epstein acolyte.
Yeah. And you know, talking to everybody around, talking to everybody behind the scenes, there were a lot of people there, and I will say a lot of people there that were wondering the same thing. And they were wondering why is he there? And then I got the big answer. It's because he's a big donor to CPAC. And so they would have had a hard time without all his money. That's why. So if our morals come down to money, I would rather them cancel CPAC or have a smaller event, or just a couple speakers, and just say, you know what, we had to pull out, we had to take away one of our large donors because we just couldn't do it this year.
We have morals.
Yeah, because we have morals. But no, they're like, oh, we'll just push through it and pretend it doesn't exist. We'll just pretend. And I'm sick and tired of pretending. I'm sick and tired of pretending that the elites aren't pedophilic, baby-eating monsters. Okay, because a lot of that stuff is coming out. It came out in the Epstein files, and a lot of the rumors that have been going around, as far as Hollywood goes, as far as the elites and what they do, a lot of that stuff has been confirmed. And are we just going to continue to pretend that this shit doesn't exist, and just go, keep rubbing elbows and being buddy with these people? No, fuck those people. I don't want any part to do with them. I want nothing.
We were told, guys, that you just screwed up because they're never going to invite you to anything again. I was like, I left. Why the fuck would I want to come back? Well, I don't want to be a part of this shit. This is not what it's supposed to be. Right. And I actually confronted the leadership on the Steve Bannon issue. Maurice was standing right there. I'm like, why did you put this guy on stage? And what was his answer, Maurice? He said, well, did you see how many hundreds of people were watching him?
Oh my gosh. A blatant lie. There was not
25 people, maybe 30 max, watching this guy. That's it. And I mean, dude, listen, I brought the receipts tonight, guys. I promise you, I brought the receipts for everything that I'm telling you, and it's going to get extremely bad. And when you understand how bad, like, you got to understand, guys, when I made the decision to do this, I told Maurice, Shannon, who's in the comments right there, was sitting there with us in the back room. Lynn was there. My cousin was there. There were a little group of us, and then there were other people that were with our group that weren't in that backstage area in that star room where they were giving out glasses of expensive champagne, and you were around rich, powerful people, and they figured that would be enough to make us just want to, hey, just be quiet and eat this and drink that and be next to this person and take a selfie and set up interviews, and you'll grow your base. And they invited me to all these other CPACs. I got a list of them. I'll bring the damn list up. It's just an amazing list of all the CPACs they're doing around the world.
I was there in my Caucasian t-shirt and hat, or it's not a t-shirt even, it's cut off tank top. Like, I don't care about fitting in with these freaking people, man. I don't give two shits. Whether or not they like me or not. The only thing that mattered at that time was to make sure that they honored that they kind of honored their word with DJ, because, but
they didn't, they were backed out of it, and then they got back into it. But we'll go into that whole story, because I just figured it's time to tell the whole story. I was in the beginning, I was like, it's not mine to tell, and I don't want to hurt anybody else by telling it. But it's so important that the entire story be told that I don't know. I may lose a friend by telling it. At this point, it just needs to be told. People need to know what exactly took place, and I think you'll understand when we walk you through the sequence of events why I essentially cursed out the leadership there. And they're probably watching, right? I would assume they're watching, and we've advertised the show. I assume they're watching. You're a bunch of bitches. I'm sorry. I don't care. But I made a video as I was walking out, and the video did pretty well. And then there was a bunch of other people who quote tweeted the video, so it went even further. I would guess probably around 1 million views from the quote tweets, and the regular original post got seen. I've been contacted by a lot of very famous top Republicans, people that were in the movement that drained the swamp in the beginning. And when they decide to come on and talk, and I'm talking to one of them now, very, very big name, I'll let them say why they feel the way they feel, but they contacted me secretly, and they felt the same way. But this is what happened. And and I'll walk you through the sequence of events. And Maurice, just if my memory gets hazy, correct me. So we're sitting in what they called the Star Lounge. You had to have a special badge to get into this lounge. It's somewhere around here. But we're sitting there, and there's a bunch of, you could almost, I'm just going to say it, I don't care anymore. Oh, you could smell the hummus in the air, right? It was very, very, it was very, very
hoity-toity.
It was very, very Israel. And so I'm always like, we walk into the room. The first thing we see is this guy, this real life size version of Ratatouille. His name is Ted Cruz. He looks like a real life freaking rat in real life. Like the way you see him on the internet and TV, it does him no justice on exactly how ugly this dude actually is. Inside and out. This guy sat on the TV and said in an interview that saying Christ is king is offensive. He also made it very known that when he got elected, that his what he wanted to do was protect Israel. Very, very known. There was no misunderstanding his point. So I see him and I immediately, my jaw clenches and I'm like, I want to say something. But at that point, it was just like, okay, got DJ with me. I'm backstage. I don't want to screw it up for everybody. I'll wait until after he's done talking. That way, when they throw me out, whatever, I don't care at that point. DJ would have gotten his award. It had been done, whatever. And so from there, he walks past us. He goes out, and we go and we sit down on some couches in the back. Some different people come over and talk to us shortly. Then I get a phone call. And the phone call was from Theotis Daniel, who is DJ's father. And he says, essentially, I'm here or I'm almost here, whatever the case may be. And I said, to that point, I said to the guy, the leadership person, and I'm not going to say his name. And all you guys in the comments telling me to say his name, you guys are foul, bro. You guys are rats, because the reason that there's so many people in the comments saying, say the guy's name, specifically his name, is so that I can end up with a defamation suit. Look, I was born at night, not last night. I'm not that stupid. I'm not falling for it. And just putting that comment down lets me know that you're a paid shill and you don't have any morals and you would sell your soul and you're not in the movement. You don't give a shit about truth. You'd rather stand next to power and get your selfie moments and be paid to go wherever they tell you to go and push the story and then and act like you're America first, or you care about something and you don't. You'd sell your fucking soul for a nickel. I'm sorry. So I tell the guy, I said, look, Theotis is here. He needs a pass to get back here. He can't come upstairs without this pass. And he says, Theotis can't come back here. So what? This is DJ's father. What do you mean? This dude can't be where his son is? I tell you what, I'll leave. I don't even want to be here anymore. I tell all these guys, Maurice is like, I'll go. I'm like, no. You guys all stay. You don't even get it. I don't want to be here anymore. This is not what it's supposed to be. I don't want to be here. I literally went to the car and watched Barney Miller. That's what I did. I just went to the car. I went in the parking lot out where we had the car. I just kicked the seat back and I was watching TV. And it was very hard to focus because I was so angry at that time. So, but before that happens, Theotis comes up the stairs. I walk out. We sit with our friends for a little bit while I'm waiting for Theotis to come upstairs. I tell them what I'm going to do. They're like, I respect it. I'm not doing it because this is a little crazy. I can't believe you're going to do it, but I respect it. Over and over again, they understood, but they themselves weren't going to do it. However, I'm sitting there. I take a selfie with them. We talk for a while. It was all good. And then Theotis says he's there. So I walk out to get Theotis. The guy, leadership folk, they're in the back. I meet Theotis on the second level and I walk him up. And I walk him right in past the security. They explain he's DJ's dad. They give him a security badge. Now, keep in mind at this point, the leadership hasn't okayed Theotis's security badge, the entrance all the way into the inner sanctum in the back, like they guard, like it's the ring or something. I don't know. right? We brought up the Lord of the Rings earlier. So they start making him a badge. My phone rings. It's that douchebag. And he's like, well, what are you doing? Where are you at? We're getting ready to call DJ on stage, this, that, and the other. I said, well, I'm out here getting Theodis his badge so he can go back there with his son. They're like, who okayed that? He can't come back here. It's just going off. Right. And I'll be right there. And we're standing there. The badge is getting printed out. So he walks around the corner, man. He had all this freaking rage and energy. And I was really hoping that he didn't bring it around the corner because I was already pissed off. And I don't do too much arguing on the internet. I don't play the tough guy, but in real life, dude, you just don't want to act that way toward me. It's not smart. And he comes around the corner, and then all of a sudden he looks up because Theodis is like 6'5", big dude, man, really big Texas dude, right? And all of a sudden, all that energy went away. Can you imagine? It's just like, energy just faded completely. And then he says, well, then somebody can't go back. His voice changed everything. I was like, I don't want to go back. I forget exactly in what way I said it. Essentially, I said, but this fucking sucks. I don't want to be here. Screw this place. Screw you. His face went like he couldn't believe that I said it. And then
to add a little bit more context to the frustrations here is that DJ was supposed to go up on stage the day before, and Theodis he came back because DJ was hanging out with us the whole time because he was expected to go up on stage, and he was supposed to go on the day before, but Theodis showed up, and they had this. It seems like they wanted to just have DJ up there and just DJ alone. They didn't want
they said that. That's exactly what they said. They said he couldn't go on stage with him. They said that.
They wanted it to be just DJ because Theodis is running for Congress down in Texas, and he's not a RINO. He's not part of the establishment.
For all we know, he's a little too dark. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, really though, we don't know. But they did not want him up there at all. What they wanted, from everything that I can tell, is they wanted to put DJ up there to save the event and not have any sort of promotion or of any way with Theodis because DJ didn't go up on stage the day before. And then, so on Saturday, they called us at like 9 a.m. They're like, hey, can he be up on stage in 10 minutes? And we're like, no. Theodis is
I'm not coming. I said, I'm not coming. I never planned on coming the last day.
No, but it was the first time that DJ was, that we had kind of slept into. So we hadn't even gone to the event yet.
Let me tell him right there, because this is right where this happens, guys.
Well, look, be careful. Don't
I'm not gonna look. I'm covering the name, right? Oh, hold up. So let me cover the name, but I'm just gonna show you this. These are all the text messages that ensued after all that. Where please bring DJ, please, he's gonna get an award, help us, our event is failing.
Yeah.
That's what it was.
And I don't know if you guys saw, but there was a lot of smack talk about CPAC going on X and other places. So it sure seemed like because they knew that that DJ was going to be with us and that Theodis had to take care of some business. All right. So they tried to get him up on stage before Theodis could make his way back. But we ended up waiting and then going there, and after they tried to schmooze us with a bunch of we'll pay for your lunch and we'll do all this, and
speaking at CPAC events, they sent me a long list, international locations for CPAC with invitations and all that kind of stuff. I got it all.
And lunch. And free drinks and lunch, and we ended up going in eventually, so that way Theodis could make his way there. And this is where Eddie was currently left off. Is we already had the feeling that they were just trying to use DJ, and the way that they set it up on the last day, it sure felt like it. So when we got there, they had a prepared script for DJ.
Here, let's just show that real quick so people will see it. This is what they coached DJ on. This is the actual script. They told DJ, don't mention your dad. They told me on the phone he can't mention his dad's congressional run. And they gave him this script, right? This is the script they gave him. And then and a little later, I'll show you when he's on stage, they literally, you hear them say, get back to the script. But go ahead.
Yeah. So we had this feeling that they were just trying to use DJ. And so they had this prepared script for him. And what seems really odd to me is that they're working, with their... If they're supposedly MAGA, then they're supposed to drain the swamp, and they're not supposed to be part of the unit party. But it sure seems odd that they don't want to promote in any way, shape, or form DJ's dad, who's running for Congress as a Republican, but he's not part of the club. So they wanted no part. They wanted nothing to do with him, but they did want to use his son. Yep. They did want to trot him up on stage and show how good they are.
Mm-hmm. And they tried to make it sound like it was all about DJ. It was all for DJ. When the day before, they told me to find this person, gave me a name. I walked all over looking for this person. Then they told me, oh, we can't give you our number. I go back to the leadership and they say, well, I'm trying to find her. Just stick around. We don't know when or even if it's going to happen. But the next day, there wasn't enough asses and seats. The damn place was empty. I mean, it was really empty. Show them that picture of you standing in front of those seats.
Let's see.
This is the picture they showed you guys online, right? That's the photo they showed you online.
There's a whole third row that was empty. So when we were walking to our seats, we passed that entire row. That was completely empty. It's not just one row. It's an entire section. The third section was completely empty. And then I'm so sorry about the quality of this, guys, but if I try to upload this, it's going to take like 10 minutes and it's going to ruin my internet for that 10 minutes. So I apologize. But look, okay.
Back it up just a little bit.
Empty seats. And then, so this is the front row. This is the front section. Okay. The front section, like I said, I'm sorry about the quality, guys, but the front section is mostly empty. We had the entire row to ourselves. We had, so where people were saying that, it's Democrat and mainstream news propaganda that the CPAC was empty. What's true is that at times it was filled up, but the only time I saw it completely filled was when that Iranian guy was speaking.
Yeah, Prince Reza.
And it was mostly
and they left
Iranians.
Right after that. They left after that.
It was mostly Iranians. And so this is one of the big problems that I had, is that half the people there were freaking Iranian. And they sent out this thing. They're like, oh, we had the most ticket sales ever. And it's like, well, that's because most of them were Iranian. That's the thing. Because my experience was a lot different. My experience on Media Row, where everybody around us canceled and the entire row just wasn't there. And they're like, you get to stream there all day. Congrats. You have the whole booth to yourself all day long.
We have the whole row to
ourselves. Yeah, we had the whole row to ourselves because everybody either canceled or didn't show up. And like I said, the radio show next to us packed up and left because they had speakers right there.
Joe Pags, who is a big name, was next to us on one day, and then he didn't come back the next day.
Why would he?
Great guy. I like Joe. Joe's awesome. But here's what you saw in the hallways, guys.
Empty. Oh yeah, Iranian flags. Yep. And so if they're bragging about ticket sales, most of them are Iranian. I can tell you that much because
yelling about
filled,
thank you, BB. Thank you, BB. Thank you, BB. Come on, man.
They filled the halls with Iranians. And it was so weird. And I don't like seeing a pro, like this is supposed to be a MAGA rally, a pro-America rally, and somehow it's like it turned into this pro-Israel and the new Iranian regime that they want to install there. And that's what it became. So when I say that it felt like a propaganda rally, it's because that was what it was mainly circled around. It was circled around this this new regime that they're installing and thanking Bibi for all that he's done.
Yeah,
that's not what I signed up for. That's
it was like, let's use their forward momentum of MAGA and then insert this into it, and they won't realize that they're cheering for the things that they didn't want. They're like, let's just inject the pro-Israel. And here's the thing, guys. What I said here, let me play it first, and then I'll explain what I mean. This is the video that I made coming down the stairs. I was furious when I made the video, but here it is.
Now, this is how much I'm standing on what I believe. I left out of the event. I was backstage. I was backstage with Ted Cruz. I was backstage with everybody. And I confronted them on what they're doing here and the lies that they're telling you guys about the rooms being full. They're not full. They're bullshit. This is supposed to be an America First movement. It's not. There are more other countries' flags here than American flags here. And I refuse to stand next to the bullshit. CPAC is falling. I won't tie my brand next to it. This is trash.
So everybody wanted to take that. Everybody wanted to take that and thought that I was taking shots at things that I wasn't taking shots at. Right. So let me break that down and explain to you. I wasn't taking shots at the other countries when I said that. Right. I don't agree with them. However, that video wasn't aimed or directed at those other countries. The video was aimed and directed at the lack of representation of our country. That's what the damn event was supposed to be about.
Well,
right?
And not only that, this is the main part that almost everybody, it seems, kind of overlooked because they had that the initial reaction to what you said, is that the lack of enthusiasm does not bode well for the future of our movement, for the future of MAGA, right? For the future of America First, whatever you want to call it. It does not bode well because when they have to fill the seats that are supposed to be filled with America First MAGA patriots, with Iranians and with
that's right, Isaac,
with Bibi supporters, sorry, it's fake. It's like
it's fake.
It's fake, and if they don't realize that, and if they don't change course now, or like last year, I mean, this was the event itself. In my eyes, was a complete failure.
It was a failure.
And
the thing is maybe, I mean, it's not like face. It wasn't like that. It may not have been, it may have been like that last year too, to a degree, but we were a little blind to it. I will admit, because one, we were separated from everybody else. We were upstairs. We were right outside the main stage. We were on our game. We were paying attention to what we were doing. We didn't really go downstairs a lot because, one, I didn't want to go downstairs and be around the people that were downstairs because you had Jake Lang and those weirdos down there, and I had no interest in being down there around them. Yeah,
there was optimism last year, and
there was a lot of optimism last year.
There was a lot of open questions
based on what we were going to do that we didn't do.
Yes, yeah. So it was all, well, we got Trump in like, look what he's done in the past month. It was like 30 days after Trump got into office, and Elon Musk was in there, and he was kicking Doge off, and they were
started out with a chainsaw, man. He brought the chainsaw out. Yeah, remember, right before that happened, Steve Bannon was telling us how un-American and evil Elon was, and then Elon was on stage with him. What happened to all that energy? It all went away.
It all went away, and they don't even realize. So the CPAC leadership that kicked us out, that banned us from future events, they don't even realize how bad of a direction they're going, or that their movement, whatever the CPAC movement is, the uniparty shills, they will fall. They don't have the movement. We were there last year because, I guess we bought into the hype that things were actually going to change, and that we weren't going to, continue bringing in a shit ton of immigrants and, cutting
well, they
funding.
actually had a meeting, right? They had insiders come out and say that the basis of the meeting was for everyone to stop talking about the mass deportations. Like, don't bring it up anymore. Don't talk about it anymore.
Just ignore it. It'll go away probably.
Yeah, exactly.
No, it won't. It will not. And I don't think that the CPAC organizers, I don't think they realize that they can't pull the wool back over our eyes. It's like we had that hope and optimism last year, but now that it isn't happening, we're going to call it out, and we are going to be relentlessly calling it out because it needs to be. I mean,
turn into CPAC USA. That's what it did. It's freaking TP USA, and with different branding. It's essentially the same damn thing. Just like Ben Shapiro buying his way onto the AmFest stage. This is the same shit.
Yeah, it just sucks to see, man. It sucks to see because I thought last year that the movement was changing, and that since they were bringing in younger podcasters, right, and more,
they literally had a
startups.
Zionist podcast right next to the stage. It was called the Zion Podcast.
Yep.
Dude, they told me, they literally sent someone over to our booth and was like, you know, we hear you take a different perspective on this, and we would love to debate you. And I was chomping at the bit to debate these guys on their podcast. I was going to go on their podcast and debate them. I went over there like 3 different times to do it. And every time I went over there, he's like 2 minutes, 2 minutes, 2 minutes. They didn't want to do it. They didn't want to do it because I was going to embarrass the hell out of them. But I get back to the B&B where we all were. And then I guess by the time the video was at maybe 400,000 views or whatever it was, and CPAC finally caught wind of the video.
Well, hold on. We're skipping a part because we were supposed to get to DJ getting on stage, and we were talking about how Theotis himself, how they wanted to keep Theotis out of it, and so they gave DJ a script, and we basically held off until Theotis got there, and they were trying to not let him in, which is when Eddie traded in his badge so Theotis could go in, and that's when Eddie walked out of there. So we were all waiting to see, Theotis come in and then walk on stage with DJ, because obviously it's his dad. Okay, if there's anybody who's ever supported DJ, it's his dad. Okay, DJ was 6 years old when his medical issue started. He's 14 years old now, you guys.
I had to shave his mustache for him before we went to the CPAC.
He's 14 years old. He's been doing this for a long time. He has been struggling for a long time. And you know where that support's been? It's been his dad. And the fact that CPAC wanted to just trot him up there and keep his dad out of it is a fucking disgrace. It is insane. And they're claiming to be MAGA or America First, but they don't want to support his dad who's running for Congress as a Republican. They're fake. It's all fake. It's just a show. That's all it is.
They brought him out on stage. They put a list of endorsements out, right? And this is not a shot against you. If you got the endorsement from CPAC, go win your race, right? It's fine. But they put a list of endorsements out of people that they were behind after it was all said and done. And that list is up on the CPAC X page. If you go look, it's a long list. Theotis is not on it. But DJ saved their damn show. Like, there were no asses in seats. There were no viral moments. DJ saved that show. That was the most viral moment they had when he went up there. And let's just play the clip, because I want you to listen very closely. You can hear her tell DJ to get back to the script. You can hear it. She says it. Listen. Oh, that's not the right clip here. Let me get down. Where the hell's it at? Hold on. I got the clip.
One of the funniest moments too was that Theotis wore his Congress shirt underneath his jacket, and so right when he was going out on stage, he like unzipped his jacket. He's like, "Oh, it's getting a little warm in here." Unzips his jacket, and shows his own shirt. He's like, "Yeah, if you're gonna fucking trot my son up there, I
use you back."
Yeah, fuck you.
Why not?
I'm gonna do what I want. So I love that spirit though. So yeah, go ahead.
Here's the speech.
Good afternoon, everyone. And on behalf of the City of Grapevine, the Grapevine Police Department, welcome to Grapevine, Texas, and the great state of Texas. For the past 6 months, our department has been working closely with the CPAC team, our state, our local, and our federal law enforcement partners to ensure a safe and secure event for this community and for everyone here today and this week. Now, it has truly been an all-hands-on-deck effort, and we are proud to serve, we are proud to protect, and we are proud to help make this conference safe and successful. Now, but looking at this team behind me, I think we need one more person to help make it complete. And that's not just any person. Someone with courage, someone with heart, and someone with a serious commitment to service.
And someone we can use to get a viral moment out of this shitty movement that we took over.
So today it is my honor to welcome a very special guest. Please welcome our SWAT team, accompanied by DJ Daniel and his dad.
And that's not a shot at those police officers. They do a hell of a job. I back them 100%. And I'm glad that they were there and they did what they did. They had no part in this. They didn't know what was going on. They showed up to do what they came to do.
Yes, sir. You don't see this every day. Wait, where am I supposed to be standing?
Slide over here. DJ. Step over here.
DJ, 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 DJ. Woo!
Now, folks, we're fixing to swear DJ in.
Let's go.
So, DJ, if you'll turn and raise your right hand, and if you'll repeat after me, and I'm going to go slow, my friend.
Yes, sir.
I, DJ Daniel,
I, DJ Daniel,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
or affirm
or affirm
that I will faithfully
that I will faithfully
execute the duties
execute the duties
of the office
of the office
of police officer
of police officer
of the state of Texas
of the state of Texas
and will,
and
to the best of my ability,
to the best of my ability,
preserve, protect,
protect,
and defend
and defend
the Constitution
the Constitution
and the laws
and the laws
of the state of Texas.
and the state of Texas.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Congratulations.
Chief, I got a question.
Ladies and gentlemen, Honorary Officer DJ Daniel. You can speak.
You notice that's a little bit too tall for me, right?
Say that again?
You notice
funny
a little
kid.
bit too tall for me, right?
How about this?
I ain't trying to make fun of myself, but I'm like a little dwarf. Wow, I was not expecting for this many people to be here, especially my top favorite two people right here in the blue and the red.
We love you, DJ.
And my dad is here too.
They did not want him mentioning his dad. They literally told me, make sure he doesn't mention his dad. His dad can't come on stage with him. All this you see happening is happening because they just
DJ.
did it. Yeah,
Well,
they just did it.
DJ.
Oh, I just forgot to mention this. My other friends are over here. Just to let you know, if you would like that, raise your hands.
Is that you guys that he's talking about?
That's us. Oh, this?
Oh, there you are. I didn't realize it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can see you in there. Okay.
Because I don't like to leave nobody out, just saying.
Yeah, I see Lynn. I see you. I see Shannon. Yeah.
And your cousin.
And I did say my dad is here. And just to remind y'all folks, I wouldn't be here if my dad didn't sign me up for experimental medicine. So can you do me a favor and give him a round of applause? You want to say
I wore that hat the whole day before.
you want to say it or you want me to say it?
Go ahead, you say it.
Watch
And
this.
my dad is running for District 18, just to let you know.
It's actually 147, guys. It's House 147.
Smart boy. 147.
That's okay.
You want me to say the other part or no? And he's running against Yolanda Jones, the first, and she always puts out she's the first gay lesbian. Ain't nobody need to know about that. That's too much information.
Oh, man, he cracks me up. Yeah, they didn't want to say nothing about that.
At all.
Back to the script.
Stop. Hold on. Did you hear it, guys? Hold on. Let's just back that up. Back that up a second. Listen close. Listen close. You'll hear it.
Back to the script.
Back to the script. Get on script. Stop saying stuff about your dad's your dad's run. He's running for state Congress, but yeah, back to the script that we just showed you.
But Chief, I got a question for you.
Yes, sir.
After I get sworn in, did you bring the donuts? But the thing is, I want glazed donuts. I don't want powder donuts because I'm not trying to be looking like Dave Chappelle when he got pulled over.
Well, officer, there'll be time for donuts later, but we need to get to work.
Yeah, I don't even know why I said donuts because I'm getting a little bit chunky, as you can see.
But yeah, guys, I mean, that's essentially what we were pointing out. They gave this boy a script. Because they thought it was going to be me up there. They thought it was going to be me there. They didn't want the Otis there. And I didn't want to participate. I didn't want to be seen next because I knowing what I knew at the time, if I would have walked up there, I would have been a complete hypocrite. A hypocrite. And anyone who's telling you I'm America first, I believe in this country, and they think I want to win the midterms.
Agreed.
And yeah, exactly. He is better off script. But they say they want to win the midterms. At what cost? At what cost? Yeah. Who do you want to vote for? Is you think that somebody just running because they have an R next to their name is a win for you? It's not. Who's holding up the SAVE Act right now? Who's holding it up?
Why haven't the Doge cuts been codified? Why haven't
why has Ilhan Omar not been impeached? 3 fake businesses, a brother husband, all the $76 billion of fraud in California, over 12 billion in Minnesota. We found fraud in Texas that we're getting ready to expose. That's a whole different story I can't go into because they're going to be.
Why did Congress just vote to hide their sex scandals?
Yeah.
If we're supposed to be the party of morals. Why did the Republicans join the Democrats in voting to hide their own sex scandals?
And here's the other part.
They're degenerates.
Here's the other part, and I'm going to put this out there, and I'll preface it by saying this. I love this guy, Tim Burchett. I think he's one of the most upstanding guys, and he brought that up when we interviewed him about the slush fund. We didn't even ask him about it, and he brought it up. Here's a guy that's been fighting to continue the Doge stuff, and he can't get any movement because he's surrounded by RINOs. So you think voting for those RINOs is going to get you what you want, or is America first?
Or becoming buddy with them and partnering with them for the future?
Yeah,
you really think that's going to you think that is going to benefit the future? No, it's going to be short term. It's a sinking ship. CPAC is The way it's going right now, it is a sinking ship. And honestly, I think CPAC got so big for two reasons, okay? One, because of Charlie Kirk and his movement in TPUSA. It was building momentum. And two, because of the optimism and hype that Trump was building around his movement that CPAC just kind of leached off of. And they took that energy and used it. But now they're back to the same old business. They're back to suits and ties, and they're gonna be of the club.
And I'll just say this. I won't insinuate nothing, but I'll say this: the bullet that Charlie got hit with that took his life for some reason doesn't match the gun that Tyler Robinson supposedly had, which we've never seen any pictures of. And now they're trying to justify that, right? When I say this, hey, you got a video of Tyler Robinson jumping off the roof. It's the same perspective that you would see him shooting from. Why don't you back it up 59 seconds and end the whole trial? I'll say sorry. I'll eat my words. Just rewind the clip. Show me a video, a picture, anything of Tyler Robinson with a gun, and let's end all this bullshit. But they don't. So back to our story.
That shit's wild. That's a whole different rabbit hole.
Yeah, that's a whole different podcast. But just saying,
Charlie Kirk got assassinated, and since Trump is failing to live up to what he said he was going to do, CPAC is trying to save the movement by just returning to what's safe. What's safe? Who can we bring on that's safe? It's the fucking RINOs. It's all the people that have been around in Congress. It's all the people that know how to get shit done. Not for the people. No. Not to get shit done for the people, but no. To get shit done for them. For the group. For the elite. For that class. Them. It's been them versus us. You know why? Okay, so I got retweeted by Elon Musk. And it was a fairly simple tweet. Okay?
Yeah.
But I was sitting, and I think it was after the first or second day of CPAC, but I was pissed. I was pissed at seeing what I saw. And just kind of thinking like, dude, this is not it. This is not like these people aren't it. So I made this post. Hold on, let me I gotta scroll down a bit. It's been a little while.
While you're scrolling, let me tell them. So,
go ahead.
So you know, Tim Burchett was supposed to come to CPAC and speak. He was supposed to be a speaker. I got him a speaking spot at CPAC. I've been advocating for this since last year. I was trying to get him there last year. Well, I can't tell you that I know for a fact that he knew that this was a shit show and didn't show up, but he didn't show up. And they sent me a message, told me, hey, couldn't make the plane, whatever. But it's the same. Trump did the same shit. Like they knew, like Trump wasn't going to be there. You just put Steve Bannon on stage. I think, and I don't know. I'm just guessing. I just think Tim Burchett was a lot smarter than I was in the moment because he knew not to come. But I'm glad I did come, regardless of how it turned out, because you know what? I was there to tell you guys the truth. And that's what I intended on doing. I didn't go there to get next to power or be invited places and get interviews and autographs and selfies and shit. I came there to tell you guys the absolute truth. And that's what we did. And I've gotten some pushback from places I never expected it. But the amount of pushback based on the amount of love that I got shown for what I did, I had people the next morning. I left at 7 a.m. I had to get to the airport at like 5 a.m. It was super early. I had my coffee in my hand. I was carrying bags. And this guy, like almost full sprint, comes running up to me at the airport. And I didn't know what he was going to do. But he got all the way up to me and he stuck his hand out and he basically congratulated me for doing what I did. And I was like, dude, that's awesome. That's
Here
awesome.
It is. The Republicans will fix it this time, and the Democrats will fix it this time. This is a timeline of the U.S. national debt from the year 1900 to 2025. And if you see, it is color-coded to where you have Republicans in charge and Democrats in charge. And there's a trajectory here that it doesn't really matter who you vote in. And this is why we wanted radical change. I got 43.8 million views on this. That's insane. Okay, that's a lot of freaking people.
Jesus.
Yeah. That's a crazy amount of views on this tweet, and it's a very simple tweet. But the message that I wanted to get across was that if we keep voting in the club, the people that are in the club, the people that aren't willing to burn everything to the ground or at least dismantle a lot of the institutions that have been screwing us over, like CPAC, what they're doing is they're promoting. It's the same old, same old. It's promoting their guys. It's promoting the ones that'll, that'll line their pockets and do favors for them and all this bullshit. And it's not the will of the people. And you could see that through their attendance. Because half of them are Iranian. So I don't give a shit. They put out I got an email about their, the media shit that you're supposed to say afterwards. Okay? And I closed it.
Sergeant Pickles, you're absolutely right. Ron Paul's my political hero, but you're right. They stand on principle. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
I forgot what I was saying entirely. I have no idea where I was saying. I don't even remember what I was saying. Like, it's gone. Sorry.
He's got a short-term memory issue, boy. You guys don't have no clue. You just have no clue.
Yeah. I mean, I do that to my wife all the time where she'll be like talking to me. And I know that's this like common thing, but it's the same thing that happens with my boss. Okay. They'll be talking and then they'll say like one word and then I'll start thinking about that one word.
Oh, you said it's always about money. That's the last thing you said. It's always about money.
It's always about money. And it's about keeping the shit going. And these, oh man. I feel like if we don't get some drastic changes in here, then then I'm on 2. All right, these are like 4%, 4.5%. They're not very much. All right, chill. All right, not all of vitamin R, but it is. I just have bad memory. It's terrible memory. Plus, not having a thyroid gives you. It's one of the side effects of taking synthetic thyroid hormone. Is you have short-term memory loss. So not only am I like an airhead, just like genetically, my mom was kind of that way, but she got around it by like writing stuff down all the time.
You can't dish your mom.
Whoa. But I'm saying that she got around it. She got around it really well by like writing everything down. She's really good at it. But I have yet to implement that into my life, and so I just forget stuff all the time. It's just constant. but yeah, these people at CPAC and these people running these events and these people that are in Congress right now, doesn't matter if it's a D or R, if they're in the club, we need to get them out. Period. End of story. And not partner with them. That's like the main thing. Stop fucking giving these people your money. Stop giving these people your attention. Stop doing. I can't stand it. I can't stand it because you know what? I'd rather go back to being a complete nobody. And this is why I went back to work, is because I have a problem partnering with people that I don't trust and that I think will sell their souls just to make a buck or better their own careers, because you know how easy it would be for you or me, Eddie, to just take one of those deals and just go up on stage and say what they want you to say.
I was supposed to be on stage. What are you talking about? I'm supposed to be there.
I mean, it wouldn't be like I'm a fucking crazy person, dude. Like my brain doesn't allow me to do that stuff. And I mean, it's even small stuff. Like when the creators were all talking about Joe Kent and hating on Joe Kent and like, this guy's a traitor, he leaked all this stuff. Well, guess what? The FBI investigation closed into him leaking because it turns out that it was just a fucking smear campaign to dirty his name as he was making his podcast rounds so they could tamper down what he was saying.
Yeah.
Okay. He didn't leak information.
I spoke to Enrique Dario briefly the day before the No Kings things they went with Alex Stein, and that shit was hilarious. But they went out there to confront those weirdos, and he told me, he's like, and I don't disagree with Joe Kent, and so the sentiment amongst the right is exactly what we're expressing tonight. And when everybody we talked to, except for the ones that were brainwashed, that were there, that want to stand next to power, that want to be, look at who I got a selfie with, look at where I was invited to, look at where I'm going, look at who I'm standing next to, look at how important I am. Bullshit. Because this is what happened. And more receipts right here. So I get home after that post gets, I don't know how many hundreds of thousands of views, and I get a phone call, right? And it's from them. I wanted to answer the phone and record it, but I got to the phone too late with the record shit because I was going to record the phone call and we'd be listening to that right now. Honest to God, we would. So, but I didn't. But I did get this. So take a look. You're a liar and you're fake. Okay, please don't contact me, me again. And essentially, I told him, you guys. Hold up. Let me get rid of the lower piece because then you can see exactly what I said to them. Where the hell is it? It's somewhere over here. All right, there it is. So let me get that. I said, I don't waver from my beliefs. You platformed a pedo protector and anti-Christians and liberals. So who's fake? That's what we're supposed to do, people. That's what we were called to do. That's what we told you we would do. And when we had the opportunity to do it, and there were so many other creators there besides me and Maurice. And it's sad to know that that's how it turned out, that speaking up and speaking out when it counted was something that they just were too afraid to do. They were too afraid that it would hurt their standing. They were too afraid that they wouldn't be invited back. They were too afraid to not be in the in crowd or what it might do to their broadcast careers, that they didn't want to tell you the truth. And that is unbelievably sad that people in their circles would sell their souls to be liked or to be in the in crowd, to be around these folks. I was furious.
I'd much rather just go back to changing tires, and I'm cool with that. I make honest money. I go out and I sling tires. I go out on it. I'm cool with that. I'd much rather
sleep at night, right?
Yeah.
I told you,
I can't partner with people like that.
This is what I said, and I think I said it best here. Yeah, because I wanted to put a video out as soon as it happened, and this is the video I thought should have went viral. But the moment it passed, maybe, I don't know. It got some views, but nowhere near as many as the first. But I think it's a much better video. But here it is.
CPAC reached out to me after that post went viral because they're scared.
Hold up.
The truth getting out because what I said were my thoughts, my convictions, and nobody else's. I didn't speak for a group. I spoke for myself based on what I saw with my own eyes. I stand for truth. I stand for what this movement is supposed to represent. America first and faith. But what I saw, that wasn't it. You got a conference claiming to be conservative with conservative values, and you're platforming people tied to defending a known pedophile, Steve Bannon. You got voices saying Christ is King is offensive, Ted Cruz, and nobody checks it. And then you bring RFK Jr. onto the stage into a conservative conference, a man who supports late-term abortions, gun control, and reparations. Make that make sense. Because you're not America first. That's not standing on Christian values. That's compromise. My soul's not for sale. And I do not compromise when it comes to the truth. You can call me whatever you want. I don't care. I didn't walk away because I didn't get something like you said. I walked away because I refuse to sit in something that's lost its damn direction and pretend that it hasn't. I'm not here for VIP rooms. I'm not here for access or proximity to power. I don't give a shit. I'm here for the truth. And I'm not selling my values to stay in good standing with anyone. You say I hurt your reputation? No, I didn't hurt your reputation. You chose to put those people on stage. I just refused to stay silent about it. And let's be real, I'm not alone. Go look at social media. People are seeing it. We're clearly seeing this very differently. But I'll say this. I'll pray for you that you find your way back, because this movement doesn't need more people chasing clout. It needs more people willing to stand when it actually costs something.
Yeah. I think I can't say it any better than that.
Hold on. What's wrong with my mustache? I got Kentucky Pete here said, "Can we get a zoomed in close up of Maurice's mustache?"
Oh, it's not even, but it's not even. You got to touch that up. It's not even.
Brother, I shave like once a week. All right. Maybe. like okay, I haven't shaved. I'm like, I shaved right when we got back from CPAC. So
I bring my barber kit
last
with
Sunday.
me everywhere I go. I have a whole barber kit that I bring with me. The Norelco style shaver, the mini shaver, the clipper. It's everywhere I go. Everywhere.
I shaved before I went to CPAC, and then I didn't shave until after I got home. So, but yeah, this is it. When I was 30 is when it finally came in, and this is all I get. This is probably it for the rest of my life. You know, I'll get like a little scruff here, but yeah. Being native, I can only grow a little bit of facial hair, so I'm proud of what I got.
Mine comes in patchy because of my native side. It's just like, I think the Irish side is here. The native side is here.
If you guys didn't know, Eddie is just as much native as I am.
This is true.
We're both half.
Yeah. Yep. My dad's pure blood native, and I never bring it up.
Lucky.
I never bring it up because it's just, I don't look it. So I don't want to say that. I don't put it on anything. I don't write down. I don't want no damn grants. I don't want no cards. I don't want nothing. It's whatever I earn, bro. That's it. You know, my sister's the one that'll do all that shit.
I believe that it's just testosterone that caused me to be able to grow this. It's just,
but
oh shit.
I do want to touch on something.
You see something? What's that? I got one white hair right there.
Yeah.
You can see it reflecting.
Did Ash pointed that out to you a little bit ago?
Yeah, she sure did.
Yeah.
And she was like, "You have a white hair." I was like, "Oh, all right."
So, guys, listen. In wake of what happened there, I am talking to some really cool people in the movement. I've been messaging with them, and I came up with the idea that Maurice and I want to put on our own event. We want to do our own event. We want to do what CPAC should have done.
Yeah.
We want to do what CPAC should have done.
We still got a lot of things to work out because
we got a lot of things to work out, but we need your help. Yeah. And that's the reality of it. We need your help. So keep an eye on the page as I start confirming people and we start moving closer to this. We'll be pushing it out there and letting you guys know we want the influencers there, and you won't be there to be like at other events where you're just there to highlight what we're doing. That's not what we want. We want to give you the opportunity to come and
I want to highlight the people. I want to highlight the sentiment of the people because
exactly
that's what CPAC failed to do. CPAC really, like they brought on speakers last year that were
good speakers. Tom Homan.
Good. Yeah, but I mean, it was all like they were speaking about the sentiment of the people and why people voted for Trump and what people wanted to change. And now a little over a year later, it's like none of that stuff happened, and they're just like, well, maybe you should just get on board with the regime change in Iran, and also thank Bibi.
Yeah, they were literally yelling that in the hallways. No. They were, and saying "fuck Bibi" is not anti-Semitic. How about that? Being anti-Zionist is not anti-Semitic. I actually got. This is one of the guys that I've been talking to.
Are you eating cheese?
No.
Eating cheese right now?
No. Crab meat.
It's a
crab meat. Why would somebody think I'm eating cheese?
He said this fucking guy's eating provolone cheese.
No, first of all, I would not eat provolone cheese. I would eat like cheddar, and it would have to be like old to be good. Right?
It's only government cheese, all right?
Yeah, dude, you got some government cheese. I am completely down. That was the best tasting cheese on earth.
Dude,
I've never had anything else like that. But there is a rabbi. I'm going to get his name because he talked about this better than I've ever heard anyone talk about it ever. And what's his name? He messaged me the other day. His name is, and look this guy up, Rabbi Elhanan Beck. And I got his phone number. I got everything. This guy was absolutely like speaking out against what Bibi's doing and against what the Zionist movement is. And he's a rabbi. And I was like, I put a little thing down under, I commented on his post and they reached out immediately. reached out immediately. And, you know, we want to stand up against people like Rabbi Shmuley, who would I would love to, I can't say, because Rabbi Shmuley probably has lawyers, but I don't like the guy. Just don't like the guy. And did you know that that I just found this out, and I saw her several times, and I wondered, why does she look so familiar? And then we got home, and Billy calls me and said, "Did you know Alexandra was there?" And I said, "Alexandra was there?" He said, "No." Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
Alexandra. And then found out
Apparently.
she dyed her hair like platinum blonde, and I was like, I seen her. I seen her.
I didn't see her.
I seen her, but you know she
Nor
didn't
do
come
I
over
care.
to us.
No
I didn't
offense to her,
give a shit.
but
I mean,
I just don't care
That
what
was
she
that whole
thinks.
APN that whole America's Pulse Network movement. If you guys didn't know, was created by people. You ever the fired up garage shit where people got fired from Grease Monkey Garage and went and started their own garage? That's what America Pulse Network is, right? And then Eric Simpkin. I'm putting it all out there. Fuck it, I don't care.
Well, okay. I still think that, you know, I wish them well. They didn't like the only thing that they, you know, I don't really care.
It was foul.
Yeah, but yeah, it's fine.
It was
Whatever.
foul.
If you think you can do it better, go ahead. I don't
was
give a
foul.
shit.
Eric Simpkin, their buddy that we are bringing on first, put a comment under the post the other day and says, "Yeah, I was going to do a podcast with these guys, but they wouldn't let me stream to my channel too." No, what we said was you couldn't stream to your Rumble channel and put the same fucking show you were putting on your Rumble channel on our Rumble channel. That's what we said. You can have a YouTube, you can have an X, you can have anything
I didn't
else.
like that guy. All right, I had a problem with that guy. That guy was kind of a dick.
But yeah,
Not
I
a
mean.
fan.
So
Not a fan.
go hate on Eric Simpkin. Just find his account and just hate on him for me a little bit, please.
Well, okay, so the thing that we've ran into over the past couple of years is that Eddie and I have a goal. The problem is that we refuse to sell out, and so what happens is
It's hard.
a lot of people will join, and they're looking to get that big boost in their name and recognition.
Yeah.
And it's like, you know, I mean, obviously we do what we can. Okay, how many other creators do you know that allow? You know, I've gotten my account to 230,000 followers now. How many other creators do you know that allows fucking randoms from like all around the country to stream on their account? I'd want to lift other people's voices, but I don't have like a shit. I'm a nobody. I'm a working class guy. I go change fucking tires for a living. All right. But if you got something important to say and you have a podcast that you want, I want to be able to help in the way that I can. I can't offer you big money, all right? Because I don't make big money, obviously. So I'm not going to be the one to offer that. But hopefully your voice gets out there to somebody who can put you in the right direction, that can give you a sponsorship, that can help you out.
Yeah.
But for some reason,
Dale and
there's
Jim did it right, bro. Dale
Yeah.
and Jim did it right. You notice Dale and
I
Jim
like
is not
them.
on the network anymore, but Dale and Jim came on. They were completely straight with us from day one. They're great guys, and they went on to do something, and they're doing well. And I love those guys. I still use their YouTube premium account. They're awesome.
Yeah, they're good guys. And you know what? They were like, "Hey, we have this other offer." And we were like, "Dude, good for you. That's what we want."
Oh, wow, dude, you got a damn compliment from Troll. Check
about
that
that?
out. Screenshot that shit. Screenshot that shit.
Yeah. You know, I mean, I really, and I think that people kind of just assume that because I'm a large account that I must have like some backing or like something like propping me up, and then
It's
I
you
can
guys,
just like,
man.
yeah, it's literally, it's just you. That's
It's
it.
you guys.
And smoking gun coffee. All right.
Yeah.
I've got like $200. All right, over the past year.
You know what?
from
Though,
them,
we
okay?
do gotta highlight Smoking Gun.
Yeah, I do love them, man. They're great.
Here's
They're
the
good
thing,
people.
guys. I feel like I need to explain myself a little bit because I disappeared for a while. And I disappeared I was still doing shit behind the scenes. I was still doing a lot. And but the thing is that I was between jaded and black pilled. Right? Between the two, somewhere in the middle of the two. And I didn't know
Pete.
have a great one, Pete. Thank you, brother.
Thanks.
I didn't
Amen.
know exactly what to say to you guys. I didn't know. I just needed to know more information to be able to come on here and sound like I had something worth saying, because I didn't want to shoot a hole in the movement. I didn't know if I wanted to be a part of that. I had no idea. So it was better off not to say anything than to say the wrong thing. But I never stopped asking questions, and I disappeared. I went on TikTok for a while, found out that it was very fucking middle school and very weird with how they do things. They essentially attack each other to try to get more followers. And it's very, very weird. I will never go live on TikTok ever again. If I put posts over there,
I tried to tell you, buddy. It's a cesspool.
It was trash. I met a lot of very cool people over there, though. I won't lie. They're awesome folks over there, but they're equal amount of very big douchebags at the same time over there. And it's very stressful. And also, I never, the thing is that a lot of people like what we do, like DMs or all this. The thing is that it became way too accessible over there, too easy. So it's like, is it worth anything if you can just just take it, and you can log in every day. I was on several hours a day. I was having fun with it, but the thing was, it was watering down my message. It was watering it down a lot, to be quite honest with you. I did get a lot of good practice over there debating people, and I was 100% winning over there. Like, I never lost a debate. I'll be honest with you. There are people in the comments right now that can vouch for that. I never lost a debate. So, I was useful for what it was, but it just got to be more pain than what it was worth. But, I guess I say that to apologize for disappearing for as long as I did. I was always 100% in on what we were doing here at PPN. I just wanted to know what direction to go. And CPAC was that thing that made me say, you know what? And I'll say this out loud right now. I am not this new MAGA. I think about the time I took my...
You mean you're not with Mark Levin and
No.
Ben Shapiro?
Fuck Ben Shapiro. Fuck. Let's just go right down the list. Fuck Ben Shapiro, Laura Loomer. Who else? Give me some help here.
Mark Levin,
Mark Levin.
Alan Dershowitz. He's a big MAGA guy now.
Oh my God, dude! Just all the way down the list.
Lindsey Graham. Lindsey Graham's all about MAGA.
Absolutely, screw Lindsey Graham, without a doubt. Without a doubt, I'm an anti-Zionist. Let's just call it like it is. Let's have this what the recovery meeting, right? And it took a lot for me to be able to come to a point where it's like, okay, I can finally conclude without a doubt that this is where I stand in with what I don't stand. And that has definitely been my focus, because I didn't understand in the offset of all this what it meant to make those kinds of comments. Being a Christian, I thought I was fooled. I thought I had to worship Israel, and I thought that I had to believe those things because that's what you do. And
see this? You see my MAGA headdress? It is no longer MAGA. No, this is Save Our Native Souls. This is the new iteration of what I'm working with. I'm actually a board member on Sons here, so we're about to be making some big moves. So not only am I doing the Patriots Prayer Network, but I do like to try to honor my Native side, and I'm working on helping bring back Native American representation to our country, because I believe that it's important to remember our foundation, and also remember that there was a lot of stuff that we learned from Native Americans that are just kind of tossed to the side now.
I've been we're both on that train with Sons, and they're absolutely amazing. Just to say that doesn't mean that they resonate with anything we just said. Just to be honest with you, that's not their message. That's ours. It's a completely separate thing.
Well, yeah.
But the thing is this, guys, if
they know what I say, though, that's the thing.
Yeah, everyone. They know. They tune in.
They made me a board member. They asked me if I wanted to be a board member, and I was like, sure. Like, as long as, like, they know me. They've been following me for a long time. We've been in communication for a long time. So they understand that, I'm going to say a lot of things that they may not agree with, but that doesn't really matter. I'm a board member on there because I think that Native American representation is important. And I think that honoring both of my ancestors, right, is important. I think that understanding the history that Native Americans had with actually helping found this country, whether you guys believe it or not. Okay, there's a whole thing that we can go into about that, because believe it or not, in every single war that Americans have ever fought, and even before its inception, but the settlers have ever fought, every single war, Native Americans have fought alongside the settlers and the white Americans. Every single war.
And they're honored.
Sometimes against other natives. So
Native Americans have been honored in these wars and honored in statues, and not in just in this country, but as far away as London.
Do you know what an Apache helicopter
I'm learning
is?
shit from them for sitting in these sons meetings where I'm hearing these things. I'm like, they got so much history I had no clue about.
Yeah, because
it's just amazing.
Because we're supposed to be the victims. We were genocided, and we gotta hate the white man, and we should be on board with we should be on board with communism, because that's gonna fucking help.
But here's the kind of square they're going to try to put me and Maurice in, and I just want to call it out before it happens. Megyn Kelly, Candace Owens, Ian Carroll. These are the people,
like Candace Owens.
But here's the thing. Here's the thing. And Megyn and Candace don't get along. But anyone who takes this approach is the campaign comes after you. It doesn't matter. Say something bad about Israel. Wait 10 minutes and watch what happens. They're going to try to smear. Say that we said or something and that we don't like Jewish people, but it's not true. It's not true at all. What's up, buddy? You want to what?
He's got a lot to say.
Yeah, tell him. Can you say "Let's go, Brandon"?
He can't hear you. I got earbuds
Tell him.
in.
Tell him.
Can you say "Let's go, Brandon"?
Kind
of close.
Something like that.
This here's Raylan.
I love them when they're that age. I love them when they're that age.
It's the perfect age. All right.
Love them when they're that age.
I'll be out in a couple minutes.
Right before they can start forming the words, they're awesome.
What's it?
It's me. What'd you call me? No.
No. Mama, what are we gonna do?
What are we gonna do?
I thought he said Jew.
All right, go on. Go to Mama. Go on.
No, guys, listen. They're going to try to pigeonhole us. They're going to try to tell you that we're being hateful or anti-Semitic or any of that, and that's not the case. At the end of the day, I'm a Christian, and that's why I did what I did, because I was standing on what I believed as a Christian, and how the Christians are treated in that country is absolutely terrible. They treat them like I wouldn't even say second-class citizens. They're not even treated as good as second-class citizens. So I'm not going to sit back anymore and be quiet and pretend that this is I'm going to be a part of the mainstream right anymore, because I'm not going to, and I'm going to do everything I can from this point forward to point out the hypocrisy in our own party.
Look at this.
Get it fixed.
This is okay. This is how consistent that I've been. All right. This is back in when was this? April 11th, 2024. This is like right when I started on X. All right. Said, I'm not for Ukraine or Russia. I'm pro-America. I'm not for Gaza or Israel. I'm pro-America.
There it is.
Abortions, pro-America. I fucking said it back then, and I still say the same thing today. And then I get a bunch of comments. You're being anti-Semitic. Man, you're just a Jew hater. Fuck you, dude. I've been saying the same thing for years. I want America to succeed because I have kids that I want a better future for. And I'll be damned if I don't fight for it.
Yeah.
If I don't fight for this, then what happens to them is on me. I have to. I am obligated to. I heard a calling years ago. It is my obligation. It is my duty to stand up and fight for what's right. And that doesn't mean bowing the knee just because some people are calling me anti-Semitic, or just because some people are calling me racist or a Nazi or a white supremacist.
Right. That's literally the woke right. Like literally,
so
on the
tiresome.
left, how you have an opinion and all of a sudden you're racist because you're saying the truth, but the identity politics kicks in. It's the same thing on the right. As soon as you say something that they disagree with, and and it hits a little too close to home or truth that you're anti-Semitic. I didn't even mention Jews in that video that I had. Go look under the comments. There's a guy in there saying, I alerted the FBI, you're an anti-Semite, in the comments. Like, I didn't even say the word Israel or Jew. All I said was there were more flags from other countries than America at CPAC. And I wouldn't have cared what country there was.
It is my right as an American to be anti-Semitic. All right? I'm allowed to be if I want to.
No, you're not. Not here.
Yes, I am.
You got BDS
I
laws
can
and
be.
HRs.
I don't give a shit. I'm allowed to be anti-Semitic. I'm allowed to be racist. I'm allowed to be all that stuff. Now, if you guys want to hate on me for coming across that way at points and times, that's fine. I don't care. If I lost my job because of it, I don't care. I'll get another job. It doesn't matter. I'm not tied down to one job. I'm not tied down to one career. I'm not tied down to, like, the only thing I'm tied down to is my wife and kids. That's it.
It's not group identity. You know it as well as I do. This is simply, we believe in individuality. I'm Eddie. He's Maurice. It's not a group thing. That's why I walked away the way I did. That's why Maurice taking the stance that he's taken. It's because we stand on our values. That's it. And our values are America first. Fuck America first. America only at this point. America only at this point. Since they want to say
our own house in order. Pull the plank out of your own eye.
Take the plank out of your own eye so you can see clearly. Take the speck out of your brother's. And you don't endorse the people. You don't stand next to Ted Cruz and take a selfie because you think you're going to be popular and invited to the next thing. You don't do it. You just don't do it. Believe me. Maurice, how pissed off was I when I saw Ted Cruz?
You look like
I wanted to say something.
You had steam coming out of your ears. You know?
I wanted to say something, and it really bothered me that I didn't. Because
the reason he didn't is because DJ was there.
Yeah.
And because DJ was being honored, and that's what was important at the time. But you didn't run up to him and be like, hey, let's take a selfie together.
No. Nor would I. I don't care about fame. I don't care about any of that. I do care about fixing our country. I care about highlighting the people that need to be highlighted. I care about fixing the damn movement.
Dude, have you seen the new shit with Japan? They're fucking based over there. I love it.
There were some Japanese people at CPAC.
Dude, I mean, okay. But have you seen recently?
They didn't bring a flag, though. They didn't bring a flag, just to say.
They didn't bring a Japanese flag. No.
Nope.
But recently on Twitter, X, excuse me, there's been the auto translate feature, and it turns out they hate liberals, they hate commies, they hate Muslims, they don't like other groups of people that we all don't like. So it's great. It's fantastic. And so we
they do make pervert robots, though.
Yeah, they do.
Weird shit over there, buddy. I'm sorry.
But you could say the same thing. You could say the same thing about America. Look at like Pornhub, right? Like what's on there? I don't fucking know. But
who owns Pornhub? Who owns Pornhub? I wonder.
Rabbi.
Who owns it? I wonder. Hey, who was that guy that Trump pardoned the other day that had $39 million in fraud and only did like 3 or 4 months or some weird shit like that of his bring that post up real quick, Maurice. You got it on your page.
Yeah, I do.
And we're just gonna show the whole, like, look at the pattern, guys. The pattern, just the pattern recognition. Just take a gander.
Just notice some stuff. Noticing some things, and it's weird.
And not only that, how many of these pedos have been released from prison, never to get sent back to prison, and to go into Israel? And there is a law.
You know what's frustrating to me that for some reason, like the conservative Christians refuse to acknowledge, is that the left was completely manufactured, funded, and created by
the Jews. Yeah,
by the Jews. The entirety of the leftist ideology is created, funded, supported by the Jews.
Not only that, let's get into the rest of it. And I'm not taking up for Hitler. Don't even take that stance with me. That's not true. What he did in the beginning was the same thing like what happened in Cuba when Castro took over. He thought he was championing the people, and then he turned on them. It's the same thing that happened with Hitler. However, when Hitler first took power, one of his first moves was to ban pornography and all of the LGBT shit, and he brought the books into the middle of the streets, and he burned the books, and he made it to where you couldn't lend money with an interest rate in his country, and his country was booming.
You know what? Trump said this the other day. He said usury, and I was really it piqued my interest when he said that term specifically, but nothing's been done about it. So,
well, he was talking about
it.
taking the credit card rates and capping them at 10% to where the credit card companies couldn't give you more than a 10% interest rate. But then I think he did do it, or he's going to do it, or he talked about doing it, and then it was only for a limited time, if I'm not mistaken. Somebody can fact check that, but I'm pretty sure that's what it was.
All right, I found it. So, Trump pardons nursing home operator Joseph Schwartz.
Yeah.
Convicted of a $39 million. What the?
$39 million in fraud. I think he did like 6 months of his sentence. Is that it?
Just 3 months into his 3-year prison term, victims haven't been able to collect from Schwartz. Basically, what happened is he was able to pay like a tenth of what he collected to get out of prison, and all this money he stole from his fake nursing home scam.
Yeah. Yeah.
But Trump just pardoned him, so that makes
I don't know
sense.
for what reason. I know a lot of people in prison. I know a lot of people that deserve pardons that are in prison that actually spend some time in there and have fixed themselves, have actually been rehabilitated, and they're good people, very good people. Believe it or not, they're good people. And when I read people, when I see shit like that, as someone who did time in there, that shit makes me sick. What that guy did makes me look like a Girl Scout. And he did 6 months. I did 5 freaking years. 5 years for something not even 10% as bad as that. Not even close.
Is Appalachian Liberty still in here? Such a fine, upstanding gentleman there. But if you have a pistol brace, the ATF will either kill you or send you away for 10 years. Laws only apply to certain groups. That's a good comment. Well done. Good comment.
It's called the Israel Connect, right? By Israel Connect. Shortly after Israel's funding in 1948, the core principles of every Jew has a place in their country. Eligibility Jews. What is the damn law name? There is a law. What's the name of the law? What's the name of the law? It's a law that allows them. Basically, there were pedophiles that got arrested in this country, and instead of actually being convicted and doing their time, they went back to Israel, and Israel took them in and they protect them. It's called the Law of Return. It's literally the name of the Law of Return. There have been people that literally have been engaged in child rape. And instead of getting convicted and sent to prison and put in the wood chipper like they should have been, they're back home in Israel being protected. Make that shit make sense.
It does.
And then all the stuff that they told us about October the 7th, about babies' heads getting cut off and all that shit, turned out to be none of it true.
Dude, I remember like when that
none of it was
happened.
true.
I remember when that first happened, and this is back in the day, and Eddie was all for I mean, this is one of the things this is why I know that Eddie is out for the truth, because Eddie back then was all for defending Israel.
Mm-hmm.
He was 100% about it, but we had and I'm not saying that I was right. I was like fucking oblivious at the time to like what was actually going on over there. But I started looking into it, and I was like, there are some questionable things here. But I know that he's willing to listen to information and look up information and actually be curious about things. But he was all about like, nah, fuck those people, fuck all of them, get rid of them, But he's since saw new information and broken out of that mindset. And I mean, this is why
it's about the truth. It's not about my agenda.
This is why I trust you, Eddie, is because, I mean, they could go back and they could clip some segments and be like, well, why'd you say that? It's like, well, because I learned new information. I am in the process of seeking truth, and it doesn't matter who's at fault. If they're at fault, I'm going to call them out. And that's why I love Eddie so much, because he's never been afraid. Like, he has convictions, but if he's shown information and he is willing to change his mind, and that is integrity. That's something that not a lot of people do, because especially influencers nowadays, it's like they never want to say anything contradictory to what they said before. So they get stuck in a rut. And then they have to be in this one lane. And it's like, you know what? I didn't know shit back then. So I was wrong. So what? Move on. This is what people do. This is how you grow. Is that you get new information.
Called humility.
Yes. And dude, there's not many people who have that. So Eddie, I commend you.
Well, I appreciate that, brother. And I'll just say this, dude. I was blown. I'll say this, and I mean it with all my heart. When I did what I did,
hear about how you were blown.
But no, when this happened, honest to God, when this happened, I didn't know what kind of wedge I was going to drive between myself and anybody at all. Everybody was acting like they respected what I did, and then some of them turned on me after the fact instead of saying how they really felt when I was sitting right fucking there, which I think is a very pussy move. But they did, and they had full access to me. They were right there, and they didn't say anything, but until after the fact. And that to me, I just don't respect it. But when Maurice came out and took the side that he took, and he was vocal about how he was like, I'm standing with you on this, bro. I've never had anyone in my entire life, in my whole 49 years old, ever fucking stand there while I did something so controversial, knowing that you could have had whatever the fuck they were offering you, and or would have offered you just for being against me in the moment, and you said no. What you did was right. I was blown away. I was absolutely floored. I said, dude, that's exactly what I said. If you ever need a kidney, just let me know. It's really what I said. I appreciate it. And I mean that. Your family are people you're born into, but the friends are the people you choose. And this guy is the most solid son of a bitch I've ever been around in my life. I've never, ever, ever I've been around anyone that is so genuine in my life. Just to be frank with you, but this guy right here, this dude, that dude is in Israel right now after committing child rape. He's in Israel right now because he used that law of return. There is an entire group of people right here that have done this shit, and they're in Israel instead of in prison or in the damn gas chamber or wood chipper. Tell me again how they're our ally. Please tell me. Somebody figure this shit out for me. Why in the world we let this stuff happen and we just put our damn heads in the sand? And no, I'm not making a blanket statement about people because we're individuals. But this government that's over there are hated by his people. BB's not liked by his people.
There was a civil war brewing over there before October the 7th. There were riots planned protests planned in the streets, expected with hundreds of thousands of people, because Bibi Netanyahu was basically changing their constitution. But October the 7th happened, then all of a sudden he gets all these powers. And you know what? You know what it kind of feels like, which irritates the shit out of me? You know what it kind of feels like, Eddie?
Go ahead.
Feels like the government lockdowns of 2020. Feels like under Trump's control, when he decided that it was worth shutting the country down. And now granted, in a way he kept things open for the governors to do, and the blue states shut down a lot worse than the red states, but it was still under his leadership. And I'm afraid that something like that's going to happen again. I'm afraid that the House is going to be lost to the Democrats.
If we get too enlightened, it went from what? Guthrie's mom to the Iran war, to the aliens. Remember, Obama came on and said there were aliens. Trump said release the alien files, and now it's hybrids. It's like they're fucking alien hybrids, and they're saying they're using the illegal immigrant caravans and shit like that to mate with aliens. It's not the Inquirer. This is not the Inquirer. Listen to what Charlie said about this. Charlie talked about this openly on the PBD podcast. I think it was about a couple of weeks before he was taken from us. And maybe you know, maybe you draw your own conclusions on why Charlie's not here. I have my own opinions, but
wait, I hold on. I have this video.
Go for it.
Play it. I can
Go
play
ahead.
it.
Go ahead.
It's 2 minutes long, and this is important context because, I mean, a lot of people speculate that this is actually what.
No, they didn't, Diddy Girl.
That this is what led to his death, but.
Yeah. Oh, you got a better version of it than me anyway. Good. Go for it.
We don't talk about Israeli politics.
Oh, hold up. I have to. I don't hear it, so I got to change something.
I hear it.
I know
That's
you
what
do,
matters.
but I don't.
That's
so
what
I have to
matters.
fix it.
We don't talk about Israeli politics very often, and most Americans don't know this. The last 9 months, Israel was on the brink of civil war. It's not an exaggeration. This judicial stuff, there were hundreds of thousands of Israelis taking to the streets because Bibi Netanyahu is basically redefining the Israeli constitution. That's not an exaggeration, right? He said the judicial branch has too much power. There were protests planned this week against Netanyahu, where they anticipated tens of thousands of people to take to the streets. That's all
I said
gone.
hundreds of thousands. I was wrong.
Netanyahu now has an emergency government and a mandate to lead. Was there a stand-down order? Was there a stand-down order? 6 hours? I don't believe it. Israel's the size of New Jersey. When I took a helicopter ride from Jerusalem to the Gaza border, it's 45 minutes. 6 hours. They're live streaming the killing of Jews. Did somebody in the government say stand down? That is a legitimate, non-conspiracy question. The whole country is the IDF. The whole country is. Yeah. But the fact is now Bibi and the Israeli hard-right government has a mandate. I gotta be careful the way I say this. They're gonna try to ethnically cleanse Gaza.
And what did we
They did
learn
it.
recently?
They did it. But here it is. Here is the actual stand down order. Right there. What? Listen, IDF soldier.
אצלנו ה-7 באוקטובר מתחיל לפני
Let me
6
get rid of that
וחצי.
bottom part so you can see the
אני
translation.
הייתי לוחם
And I
במחלקת
translated this
מרגמות
McGraw,
בגדוד
too.
13,
It's right.
גולני, ובאותו לילה אני, יותם סור, הסמל שלי איתמר בן יהודה, זיכרונו לברכה, שלושתנו עושים לילה לבן. הרשינו לעצמנו בשבתות וחגים במיוחד, לעשות לילה לבן עד לכוננות עם שחר, ואתם יודעים, יש לנו זמן לישון מחלקת מרגמות, עד לכוננות הבאה. אז ב-5:20 בבוקר, אנחנו יושבים ליד הקשר כדי לא להעיר מאזין, והסמג"ד שלי, ניר בוינפלג, שגם הוא נפצע קשה, וברוך השם הוא...
So, in the deputy battalion, okay, suddenly get a radio message with a strange message. And stations, I don't know who, why, or how, something along those lines. No patrol on the fence until 5:20 in the morning. All stations are to hold their positions. Meanwhile, he's like, what's going on here? No one's guarding the border. That's what he's talking about. He's being told to stand down. And then they play the actual stand down order. For this, I'm going to unmute so you understand. They're actually playing the stand down order from his superior officer. Listen. Now that's the stand down order, and what they're saying is the brigades are issued a directive and forces pending the situation assessment until 9 a.m. No vehicle is to approach Burma. I'll say it again, until 9 in the morning pending the situation assessment, no vehicle is to go down to Burma. We are in the rear staging areas. A brigade level arrangement. I don't know exactly why. I don't know. I don't ask too many questions. All in a little before it all begins, and Tomer gives us a look like, what? And you don't know, we're simple soldiers, just combatants, not commanders or officers who can ask questions. And the order came directly from the deputy or somebody. It went a little faster. A routine passing of an order. I want to make sure everybody reads this. Sure enough, an hour later at 6:30. Suddenly, sirens. Irie, I tell you, I've been living with this since October the 7th. He feels bad because they were told not to do anything. And I was afraid to talk about it. That is everything you need to know right there.
The very interesting part about this is that anytime you bring this up, you get called a Jew hater. And it's like, no, I distrust government. And this,
I don't give a damn what government it is.
Well, yeah, this includes the Israeli government. This includes our own government. This includes tribal leadership on reservations, which is just miniature governments. Okay, I don't trust any of them, because as soon as you get into an institution like that, it will always and inevitably tilt towards corruption. And
Absolute power corrupts absolutely.
And eventually that corruption, it makes them elitist in a certain way. So for some reason, me questioning the Israeli government in that way has made me an anti-Semite, or has made me a Jew hater, or whatever they say. But in all reality, I don't trust institutions in general.
Yeah.
I mean, governments, be it tribal leadership or corporations. I mean, anytime a bunch of people get together, their motives change.
Yeah.
And I mean, this is why I'm not a joiner, right? This is why that it's just been Eddie and me, and then various podcasters who kind of, you know, stuck with us, like for the past couple of years. But mostly it's just been me and Eddie, you know, against the world. So, you know, we got Shannon, who.
If you guys aren't following Shannon, by the way, give Shannon a follow. Shanon's everywhere.
She was big on TikTok, but now she's moving over to X and building her account there. So yeah, Shannon's
our
everywhere.
Little girl is growing.
Yeah. So, but she's very based, and she's got her eyes open, and she's doing good. She's going to start a podcast, and you know, it's another opportunity for the people to speak up.
Yeah.
And she doesn't have to share all the same opinions as us. Like,
I never tell anybody to.
No.
Ever.
No.
And there have been examples of that, and then people that I still love. Jim and Dale interviewed what's her face, Vandersteel, who I don't like. It was up to them. I never tell them what they could do. I don't tell any of our podcasters to have the same opinion as me, but they have to have the same values for the network, right? We have to actually be pushing and fighting for something that we believe in, and that has to be the betterment of our country. And how we get there sometimes varies, but in what we believe in, but the goal is exactly the same. And it's a place where you can raise your kids. It's a place where you can safely, you know, go have your kids go out and play. I mean, we were kids, we'd be out there in the woods until the sun went down and running around and this sort of thing. And now you can't let your kid play on the damn sidewalk without a damn camera out front watching them, and you're on your phone. And
dude, okay,
it's crazy.
Yeah. You know what? We got to save some of this for another podcast, so we got to close this out. You guys, thank you for tuning into this. We got over 3,000 people here. Please, if you can, share this podcast out on all your social media. Let everybody know what CPAC is. And, you know, we went through.
Turn on your notifications, people.
Yeah,
turn them on.
Because, this is we're going to be keeping on just like we have been for the past couple of years, which is trying to fight for the betterment of America. And that's without big sponsorships. It's without compromising our values to get big sponsorships. And
but I do have to give a shout out talking about sponsorships. Povi, P-O-V-I, they're a new platform. They are coming. They're going to be dropping this in about a week. Povi.com/PPN. They were there with us at CPAC. They helped a tremendous amount with us at CPAC. And it's a free speech platform. They impressed this upon me beyond anything. It's not left. It's not right. It's just you tell your truth, what you believe, and we're not censoring anybody. So go to Povi.com and check those guys out. They're awesome. And they will be, we will be doing some work with them in the future. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah. So it's not like we're never going to have any sponsors, but we're not going to compromise our values to get sponsors. If somebody wants to give us some money and hand us a microphone and say what you got to say, I'm down for that. But if somebody wants to tell me that you say what I tell you to say and we'll give you a bunch of money, I ain't doing that. Not once. Never. Nope. And I know Eddie won't either. So we're doing our best. You guys, the Patriots Prayer Network, we're you know, we grow and then we get smaller. We grow and then we get smaller. Right now, we got Tammy Hagerman in as one of the podcasts.
No, Lynn Hagerman.
Did I say Tammy?
Tammy, yeah.
Why do I always mix that
Tammy
up?
Cuthbert.
Lynn.
Her and Jason are launching a new podcast on here.
So stupid.
No, you're good. Tammy's launching a new podcast with Jason on here about homesteading. So it's not all about politics, guys. Check us out on CUE Broadcast. CUE Broadcast has been huge. We're streaming there now. you can go there
Get back
and
on
you can
script.
hear actually free speech, real free speech. Get back on script, Diddy Girl says. Sergeant Pickles, by the way, I saw that comment. We love you and appreciate you too. But yeah, I mean, this is how you can help us. Go the guys that support us, support them. Support them. If you go to the link in the Rumble, guys, please check us out on Rumble. Right, we get more benefit from you guys being on Rumble than we do anywhere else.
Actually, that's the only place we're monetized because X doesn't monetize live streams,
and YouTube doesn't push us.
YouTube definitely does not push us. Big surprise. Twitch doesn't. Facebook doesn't. So we get a lot of views
after this show.
X.
Facebook might have banned us. I'm not sure. I haven't looked yet.
Yeah, probably. But we get a lot of views on X, and we really appreciate it. And we appreciate you guys sharing the word. But if you can, go to rumble.com/thepatriotsprayer. That is actually the only place that we're monetized, which is like, we make just pittance. But what it does is it actually helps with trips. We have to pay an extra $100 to check in a bag or something, because we ride economy. We're not first class kind of people, all right? We ride economy.
Freaking Spirit Airlines. Your ass looks like the shape of the seat when you get up. You know those little things you put the eggs in when you boil the eggs and it turns it into a square? That's what happens on Spirit.
I sat in between two other dudes on the way down to Texas, and I was like this the whole time. I was like, well, this fucking just blows. I stayed up the whole night before because I was like, I'll just sleep on the plane. That's what I'll do.
Never happened.
It was a terrible idea because I didn't sleep at all, and I had to lean forward the whole time because otherwise my shoulders would, I couldn't fit in between them. So I had to just lean forward the whole time, and I was like, this is just miserable. But yeah, we're gonna make it one day. I don't know how.
Within the next 6 months, guys, if you want to see that happen, if you want to see the real message get out there, you want to see real patriots speak and actually push the message that CPAC should have pushed, help us get this event off the ground.
Yeah.
I'm going to be putting together a Gives and Go. I'm going to put it out there, and we are within the next 6 months is my goal to
Is
have
it going to be a patriotic powwow?
and more and more, right?
That's how I'm going to promote it. It's going to be
and we can let the guys from Sons come and speak. Why not? I mean, we can do all of that. So, guys, but it's going to take you. It's a grassroots movement. We don't want to take money from organizations that are then going to tell us what we can say. It's got to be you guys. It's got to be you guys. So we're going to put together an entire deal and put it out there with the Gives and Go, and hopefully you guys support us, and then we can actually have what CPAC should have been, CPAC should have been, and that's the goal right now. That's the push right now, because that movement right there, that's what we need. We need to get people like Maurice, myself, and other people that are in Congress and Senate that have the same opinions as we do, and there are many because they contacted me. I'm telling you, they don't get in front of microphones. They don't point TV cameras at them. And there are a lot of very cool people, and they need to be heard. So with your help, we can actually move the needle and highlight real patriots again. And that's what we want to do. That's the whole purpose of this.
So thank you guys for tuning in. I really appreciate it. I appreciate you guys sharing it out and helping spread the word. And also letting everybody know that, CPAC wasn't all it's cracked up to be.
CPAC is trash.
But God bless you guys. God bless America. Thank you so much. We'll be back next week again. And
so Monday, Wednesday, Friday at 6 p.m. We also are going to be hosting spaces on X on a regular. So look out for those spaces where you can interact with us. Those are going to happen regular. You're going to start to see Maurice and I are going to start marketing what we're doing more. We're going to start pushing. It's taken us. How long have we been doing this, Maurice? 4 or 5 years? 3?
No,
I've been doing it 5 years. I've been doing it
for 2.
So
since
come over to X. Check out the spaces. We're going to do those on nights where we're not doing the podcast, but they'll be at the same time each week. So we look forward to that. We look forward to getting to know the people that follow us who we don't know yet. Come in and check us out. Say hi. And let's talk about what's actually going on in the world, and not what the news shoves down our throats. Oof. And that would be good. I don't do spaces, glitch on there that won't stop dropping audio. Well, Kilburn, come check out our spaces. They'll be different.
Yeah, well,
they'll be different. And also go check us out on, we never push this platform, but I have a Discord server, which we're going to start using even more now. So we're going to be putting a lot of stuff over there. So all the shit that I've been planning to do all this time, you know what makes me do things? You piss me off. That's what happens. You piss me off, and then all of a sudden, a bunch of stuff happens. Like, it starts happening. Just get me mad.
Conservatives are driven by necessity.
Yeah, well, they're also driven by anger.
Oh, yeah.
Let me tell you.
Necessity. It's like, yeah, fuck you. Fine, we'll go do something better. But
exactly.
Thank you, guys. I appreciate it.
All right, guys.
I'm out.
And as usual, the silent majority, you guys got to stop being silent and stand your ground, because evil never retreats willingly. It must be beaten back. And we'll see you next time on Monday at 6. Set your watches, your clocks, your notifications. If you're not following me, what the hell are you doing? I know you're following Maurice already, you fuckers. But at the Patriots Pray, at La Native Patriot, check us out. Go to the website too. You can sign up to get the newsletters. They do go out, so they're all over there. Go check us out at thepatriotsprayer.com, and we'll see you Monday at 6, guys. Have a great night. We'll see you soon.
Peace.
Midnight gears hum low. Guitars bend, pads breathe in the slow.